Hello, duelists, and welcome to the King's Court. Okay, so we have another Edison match here. This is me on the right, piloting my Hero Beat deck, or uh, I don't even know if you really call it Hero Beat. Hero Beat's usually when you're in like Gemini Spark and all. This is more like a Elemental Hero Turbo deck, basically. And on the left is a friend of mine. If you're familiar with our Digimon content, and as well as our other Yu-Gi-Oh content, like our modern one, where we've done like deck profiles on Red Dragon Archfiend, Blue Eyes. This is our same friend. He's getting into Edison as well. He's piloting his Disaster Dragon deck, and as you can see here on the right, I basically just managed to use Foolish Burial. This is a different. I've changed up the build since the last time I did a deck profile on this, which that video just blew up. Thank you so much. And my opponent just heavied me. Damn. But he kind of breaks, so he just passed, and I just went E-call and add my Ocean to hand. Because I already used Foolish to dump Necro Shade to the grave. So, but anyways, yeah, this is another Edison game. He's working on his Disaster Dragon deck. Although he's still getting used to, the format because it's like he's still getting used to like remembering to draw turn one and then priorities stuff like that. But anyways, he's getting the hang of it. So I'm just helping him out. So we thought we'd record. We basically decided to record this gameplay. Overall, basically we're still getting the hang of this. So shoot, if you have any suggestions, so I managed to go Blade Edge right here because I already had Necro Shade engraved. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much everything. So if you want to see any more Edison gameplay, as well as like any tech profiles, discussions, stuff like that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos, and overall, just let me know what you think in the comments. So, my opponent's got a card destruction me, and he bounced back my Blade Edge back to my hand now. That's fine because I already used Necro Shade's ability once. I couldn't do it again. You have to return back Necro Shade to your hand or your deck or whatever. Basically, get it out of the grave and then get it back into the grave to be able to do the whole no tributing again. So, I guess it's like their way to avoid like any like abuse of the card. So I'm gonna actually have a new hand thanks to my opponent card destruction to me, and I actually blew through most of my elemental heroes. So I'm gonna add Woodsman. I started using Woodsman recently because, well, one mainly because I cut Alias because Alias is always dead in my hand, and there are like times where I open up like kind of bricky, so I just set my Woodsman, and like if I side it out, I usually like side it out for like Snowman Eater or something like that. So it's a pretty good card too. I like it. Plus, I also test. I mean, not test. I changed up the extra deck too, so I'm running like a little bit more of like a couple more Gaias and stuff like that. So Woodsman's actually been coming up in clutch lately. So managed to blow up my opponent's field, and now I have Ab Zero and Ocean on field. So pretty good actually, not too bad so far. So I'm looking over my grave right now, and I'm basically just thinking, okay, what else do I have in here? Because Miracle Fusion is live, because I think I have it in hand. I think. Because I do have King of the Swamp and Sparkman in the grave, so I could go for a big fusion play. Because in this deck, your big fusions are cards like Plasma Vice, and obviously Shining Wingman, and Shining Phoenix Enforcer, which a lot of people forget exists. Let's see. So I'm basically just thinking, what can I go for? Because if you saw earlier, my opponent did Mirror Force me, so I don't want to take the chance of anything. It could be like, I don't know, like a deep prison or something. So I'm trying to basically make sure I play around his back row. So, but I basically just have Ab Zero attack over his Red MD and have Ocean go for attack, and he scoops right there. So I managed to get game one. So obviously, thanks to the magic of editing, we're going to go to game two. I'll see you there. And just like that, we're back. So my opponent's going to start off using Card Trooper, and he mills Blue Eyes, Red MD, and I think that was a Mirror Force. And he's going to set two back row. Pretty good standard opening turn kind of play. And I lucked out, and I managed to open up Future Fusion. So I'm going to reveal Dark Bright, and I'm going to be able to send Necro Shade and Sparkman. This is pretty much the standard play you want to do, because you want Necro Shade engraved, that way you can get your free, you're basically your free Blade Edge. Especially since, like in Edison, a lot of decks start off with like set cards and to start off their turns, like Raikos and all that. So, and since Blade Edge is a piercer, that big chip damage really comes in handy. I'm also going to use King of the Swamp and dump it to hand to get polymerization. So I actually opened up a pretty good hand right here. So I'm going to go polymerization, and from the hand, I'm going to fuse Ocean and I think, oh yeah, Prisma, because I already had, and but unfortunately the Ab Zero, but he bottomless it, but it'll blow up his card trooper, but he still gets a draw thanks to that card. So I'm just going to use Fusion Recovery. I'm going to get Ocean and Polymerization back. I'm just going to normal Ocean and pretty much just go for a swing. Let's see. And I think the set card that I have, I can't remember. Compulse, I think. Oh no, I'm not sure. I forgot what my set card was. So my opponent's actually going to go use his Future Fusion, and he's going to dump a bunch of White Stone of Legends, a Totem Dragon, and a Red Eyes Wyvern. Really good cards. They're really put in the grave. That's like the thing with dragons. They really want to get their cards as a grave, just like like a lot of decks in Edison, if I'm being honest. So he's pretty much setting up for his big plays because man, 5,000 attacks is nothing to scoff at, even though his pretty much is a beat stick. Oh, really quick, even though I mean I've said this before in other games, if you from this perspective we could see his hand. This is only from the camera point of view. I wasn't able to see his hand at all during any of the gameplay. Just to clarify. So he's going to Pot of Desires. Dang it. I'm too used to saying desires or prosperity. He's going to Pot of Avarice. I haven't had to use Avarice in years. I'm actually tempted to try out Avarice in my deck because fusion decks basically turbo through their hand pretty quickly and like set up their grave fast. So I'm kind of tempted to try out Avarice in my builds. Let me know in the comments what you think. So he's going to be able to get Totem Dragon. And he's going to banish his Debris Dragon. Well, he brought back Totem thanks to his Debris. He's going to banish the Debris to bring out a Blue Eye. I mean, his Red MD, and now he's going to summon Blue Eyes. And all I have is Ocean on field, so I can't really do much with that. So I'm basically thinking, okay, I don't know what else. If I can go Ab Zero, maybe I could do something, like try to blow up his field. Let's see, he's looking over his back, but he's got a lot of back row. He's gonna brain control me. Oh man. So, and now he's going to card destruction again. He opened that card up twice. And he's going to attack directly, and I'm just going to, yeah. And he's also going to heavy too. So it was, okay, he was compulsed, he had set. So, Future Fusion's gone because he did heavy, and I pretty much am a sitting duck. He actually didn't manage to get game yet. He only managed to do about 71, I think. Oh, 3,000 plus 28, 73. I think Totem Dragon's like 800. Or no, not 800, like 300. So yeah, I only had like a couple hundred life points left. So I'm thinking, what could I do here? Because here's the thing. All he has to do is just hit me for just a little bit of damage. And I'm pretty much dead right there. I think I'm only like... I think Totem Dragon's like 600 attack. Yeah, 51. So yeah, I think I'm at like 200, 100 left. So I pretty much just go Ab Zero, and normally this would be fine. And I attacked over his Totem Dragon, but he's gonna attack over Ab Zero, and even if his monsters will be destroyed, he did so much damage last turn, it didn't even matter. So that's game 2. So we're gonna go to the tiebreaker, and I'll see you there. And here we are at the tiebreaker. So I'm gonna use Gold Sark, and I'm going to banish. Usually, you want to banish like. If you don't open it up, you banishing like your Future Fusion can be useful, but lately whenever I've been playing Edison, I usually banish my Miracle Fusion. I also am in this build, I started testing Return from Different Dimension. That's something too you could do as well. I started playing Return because you banish so many cards thanks to your Miracle Fusion and all that. There's like times where you could literally just use Return, bring back, like you can't bring back your Fusion monsters obviously, but you can bring back like your Blade Edge, your Sparkman, and all those, etc. And you can get like quick OTKs with that card. So that's why I started teching it in here. So you could also do that too. And he's going to use Foolish, and he's going to dump his Red MD. Interesting. And he's going to go Card of Consonance. Dump Debris Dragon, draw 2. Let's see. So I managed to use the Prisma play, and I managed to dump Sparkman because basically I don't want to top deck Sparkman. I love being able to go into the big huge fusions like Wingman and all that, but top decking Sparkman is not fun. So he's going to also brain control my Prisma. And this is messed up right here. He uses Prisma its own effect because Prisma isn't locked into elemental heroes. So okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty funny. So he's going to reveal his Blue Eyes Ultimate and dump a Blue Eyes. So he has now an extra dragon engrave, which is not good for me. And he's going to set and just attack directly. Unfortunately, I didn't have gores or anything like that. So I'm already close to losing. So I'm going to draw, and I'm in an interesting position so far. So I'm going to heavy as well. And it was bottomless, so good thing I did that. So let's see. I'm going to set Mirror Force, and I'm just going to switch my monster to defense because, unfortunately, I'm not in the best position right now. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else I can do? Now, I'm going to Tribute Prisma to set a card. Now, the reason I'm in a weird position, I opened up Blade Edge and Necro Shade. The combo is usually you want Necro Shade engrave, so you can go into Blade Edge. But because I opened up both of them, it was kind of a difficult situation because I couldn't get Necro Shade engrave. So I basically had to do this. But luckily he passes because the Mirror Force did blow up 2 of his cards. And I'm gonna actually top deck King of the Swamp, so I'm gonna use that to get Polymerization. And I also do have Miracle Fusion in hand as well, thanks to Gold Star, because it's been 2 turns. So I'm in a weird position, but it's not unwinnable, basically, is what I was thinking to myself. So I'm going to add Polymerization. I'm going to flip up my card. It was should be flipped right here. Yeah. I'm going to flip it up, and it's Necro Shade. I'm going to use Polymerization. And I'm going to fuse them to go into Elemental Hero Gaia. Yep. And I'm going to use Gaia's effect, obviously, to cut his Red MD's attack in half and give it to Gaia. Because even though it's in defense, I can still attack. I can still use that effect to basically get it off the field. And I'm going to Miracle Fusion. I'm going to banish King of the Swamp and Sparkman. Now, normally I would go into Wingman, but I'm going to have Gaia attack over his Red MDs, so there's nothing to attack over to gain, to basically burn thanks to Wingman's effect. So instead, I'm actually going to go into Shining Phoenix Enforcer. Now, the reason I'm going to Shining Phoenix Enforcer is because he can't be destroyed by battle. So Blue Eye, and so that way, basically, if he gets his Red MD back and is able to get Blue Eyes or something, he can attack into my Phoenix Enforcer, but he won't leave the field, basically. It's, for once, basically, Phoenix Enforcer's ability to basically be a Mii Shield is actually coming up, which is crazy because that almost never does. So I have the possibility to get game right here. So I'm going to attack with Gaia, and yeah, so it was all bluffs. It was 2 trade-ins and a Starlight Road, so thank goodness for that. So I managed to get game right there, but man, playing against Disaster Dragons can be kind of scary because if you saw in the second game, the deck is basically able to start snowballing and just overwhelm you with crazy, huge, high attack dragons. So I gotta get used to this matchup. But anyways, if you made it to spar, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you want to see any more Edison gameplay, deck profiles, all that good stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what kind of decks you want to see in the channel. Because there have been some other players that are locals getting into the format, and Edison format, and there's a variety of different decks people are working on. Somebody's working on what's it called? Dark Diva, that sort of thing. There's a couple of Blackwing players. A friend of mine is trying to build some really weird plant deck. I forgot what it was called. And so if you want to see any of those, like, comment, subscribe for more. And just like the video and just have a great weekend too. Take care. Bye.